that's the VTX too, right?
Yeah, the VTX and the camera.
It's all built, yeah.
They came out with the Scout things too. Okay, a little extra security here.
Yes.
Because this lid isn't, the magnets are coming off. So, yeah. Adding tape. Welcome, one and all. We're finally gonna get this together. The worst YouTuber ever. Okay, so it's gonna be my slogan. I had this video enlisted, so yeah, I just realized that. Have my mic clipped on funny. Just realized that. Okay, so the saga of our what I once thought would be an easy project, just ripping the flight controller, the eFlite hobby, Horizon Hobby flight controller out of here and replacing it with an iNav capable one. Hasn't turned out to be such an easy project, and that is 100% my own fault. I should have realized that these other components might and probably would be proprietary. I'm still hoping that this So to summarize, we first had an issue with the VTX. So I had a VTX in stock, so we just put that VTX in. It's an Sheen. It's from Banggood. But it has a DVR, it has 800 milliwatts, and it has smart audio. It has all the things we want. It has an MMCX connector. And in addition, it has a DVR. So we took out the Horizon Hobby, eFlite, whatever, VTX, and we replaced it with that. The reason we had to do that, and that's right here. By the way, I'm AC, and this is DankRC. I should introduce myself at the beginning of a video. It's not like anyway, doesn't matter. Probably going to unlist this at the end anyway, like I have. The last two live streams have been unlisted because I'm getting mad and swearing at eFlite and fussing with the ESC. That's the next story. So this is the first glitch we came upon, and this is the VTX. And the way this works is there's a connection from the flight controller which sends the telemetry data to this VTX. The VTX has the OSD on it, not the flight controller. And the VTX overlays the OSD so it gets its power and data for these three wires from the flight controller. Then this other connector goes to the camera. Any regular camera will work, and then on the other side it has an MMCX connector. So it's a decent VTX, I'm sure. It's probably just perfectly fine, except it's proprietary. I doubt it's like Mavlink or something, like a Mavlink serial port. Who knows what it is? But the data that comes off of this wire, or in from the flight controller from this wire, I'm sure is some kind of proprietary data format. So we couldn't use this VTX. So I just thought we'd be replacing these two components, basically these three components, these four components, and it's stuck, everything's stuck. There's a GPS, there's a flight controller, and a power unit, and all that is contained. The power unit is part of the flight controller for the Matek F411. So I just thought we'd replace that, plug the VTX into it, plug the camera into it. We'd be good to go. Plug the ESC into it. So no, couldn't use the VTX. So added a VTX. Could use the camera. He's got a Phoenix 2 camera here. Phoenix 2 micro-sized camera, I guess it is. So everything works now except the ESC. At the very end, I was going through the not beta flight, the iNav configurator, and going through all the things. We had and before that we had another glitch where I couldn't, for a few minutes or so, I couldn't get the Crossfire to go into binding mode. I could on the transmitter, but I couldn't get it to go into binding mode on the receiver. But so for some reason it finally just started updating. I think I just wasn't patient enough. I just didn't wait long enough. And that's the thing. You got some of these things are probably slow processors and over-the-air protocols, and I don't know. And People just on YouTube act like everything happens instantaneously. Well, it probably doesn't. I probably just wasn't patient enough. So, where are we? We got through all those glitches. We got to the very end where I was going through all the testing of the servos. I got the servos going in the right direction. Everything seemed good, and then I went to the outputs screen in the iNav configurator, and I went to test the motor output, and that's where we ran into nothing. And the whole time it beeps when you turn it on, but it still could be the signal wire itself, because the beeping tones are not the beeping tones of it. It's like the boot beep, if that makes any sense. And I don't know enough. I'm not an expert at this stuff. And so I don't know enough about the way ESCs work with their protocols, whether or not this is whether it would do the boot tones if it was getting a signal from the signal wire. I don't know how the signal wire and whether it's got a signal or a correct signal that it understands relates to how it boots and the boot tones, especially on this eFlite ESC. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the top layer of the F411 WSE flight controller. I'm going to take the top board off. It's a 2-board system. And then I'm going to closely look at the soldering job that I did for the signal wire. And if any of you out there in TV land have ever done I'm going to put my cookies away, have ever done a F411 WSE board, you know that signal wire for the motor, there's actually two. You can have two motors, signal 1 and signal 2, servo 1 and I don't know what the S1 and S2 wires are insanely hard to solder to, especially for I'm not an expert, I'm not a novice, I'm in between. So what we're going to do is we're going to first, so I took like 20 minutes to explain all that, haven't I? Yeah, 16 minutes. No wonder I'm not an expert at this YouTube thing. What we're going to do is try to zoom in. I got to tighten that a little, wherever that's supposed to be. Oh yeah, it's that. Loosen it a little so I can move it. And I'm going to try to make it so you can see, but you probably won't be able to see. What is that? Okay. I have some kind of issue with Visual Studio Code all of a sudden on my computer. That computer, I need to re-image it. Okay, that's another story. So let's see, maybe if we do number 11, maybe that view's a little better. What we're going to do is we're going to take this top layer off. So I'm going to get these little tiny screws out. One. Oh, it's out. It's out. I don't want to lose it in there. They're very tiny. And I have extras, but I'd rather not lose them. to pop the top off of this and reveal the problem. The problem is my fault. I knew it. I knew it would be my fault. All that bitching I did about the ESCs, and it's my fault. I knew it. Okay, so we've got the soldering gun fired up. What it looks like here is that Mr. Selman has reversed the signal. So we're going to have to take all these off. We're going to have to undo all of our wiring. There we go. And we're going to get it all out of our way. Yep, that's what's wrong, idiot. So what's wrong is the little ground wire is going to the signal pad, and the signal pad is going to the ground wire. And that would explain some of the other things that are weird going on with this flight controller. So we're going to get some tape. So thank God the eFlite ESC is not proprietary. I am so glad I'm an idiot and wrong about that. Because that's just irritating as all hell if that would be true. And of course it's my fault. When I sat and thought about it last night after I said it's going to be 99% chance. 99% chance that it's my fault. And if it isn't my fault, then it would be 100% chance that the eFlite thing was a proprietary thing. But I am so happy that it isn't eFlite and that it is my fault. That's a much better. So it turns out that there was only one proprietary thing, and that would be the VTX. Psst, probably wrong about that too. But no, I'm not wrong about that. That is definitely, I found the chip. The Max chip is on the, yeah, that one I'm right about. Just everything else in the entire world I'm wrong about. Except my choice of girlfriends. Did a good job there. Okay. So we got the signal wire out. And we're going to put the signal wire in the right spot. That'll be a novel concept, folks. So, I don't know if you can see. I'm going to point it out. But the signal pin is that little pad right there, and it's in the middle. There's the S2 pad right next to it. So you've got these gigantuan pads on the edge for the connections to the gigantuan as relative to the other pads on the board. And you have this pin. Let me see if I can get it in the picture better. There. That pin is the signal pin. I'm not trying to relieve myself of my responsibility for not doing this right. But that pin, these two pins are very difficult. And they didn't need to be that way. They should have done something like they did with the other servo pins that come off this board. They just should have had another row. That's all they would have had to do. Board designers, you gave me pins for every connection, except the power connections, which we don't want pins for. Don't do it for that. Don't put a little pad in the middle there for nothing. Okay, so now we're going to have to get this one on the ground. Okay, I'm going to change glasses. Thank goodness. Thank goodness it's my fault. Okay, so we're going to widen out again. And I'm going to try to get this done. So we're going to put the signal pad off, signal one off to the side for a second. I'm going to tin this a little bit more. Okay, doing a little prep work. Sorry, this is why it takes me so long to do everything. First, I don't do it right in the first place. And I should turn this monitor on so I have view of the chat. Come on, monitor. Input source. Down, 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 down. Up, 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 up. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to just cover everything up for a second with tape because I'm going to tin these two wires. And I don't want to screw this up. Kevin's counting on me. Fucking eFlite. I wish it didn't have an eFlite sticker on there. Then I wouldn't have gone on my eFlite rant. Which I was, of course, wrong. I'm always wrong. It's always going to be my fault. Okay, you didn't see that because I keep moving stuff. Okay, let's try to do this right. That over there. Move all this shit out of the way. Okay. We're going to keep the VTX covered up. And now we're going to get some of these things done. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. Can you see? That little, it's like surgery. Remember that game Operation? It'd be so much better if I could hold this fuselage still. There we go. You can see what we're up against here. So let's put the right pins and the right wires on the right pins. That's our goal. Somebody, if I would have had actual watchership, it's not readership, it would be watchership. Viewership, stupid. Then, oh shit. God damn it. There. Okay, I gotta change glasses. That's my problem. All right, here we go. This cannot touch the ground. I'm going to clip it off a little bit. Damn them. Board designers. That is the shittiest. That is the shittiest design ever. Motherfuckers. Got it. I'm not super happy with it. There. All right. Damn them for making me do that. Okay. Hope you all saw that. That is going to be the problem. So now let's put this back together. Thank goodness we don't have to take the flight controller out. And we don't have to do all that. And this, we're going to put RX here. That's RX. Okay. And if we have to deal with the capacitor, which I don't think we're going to have to do now that I've thought about the battery, it's just going to go right there. It's not going to matter. Okay, let's put it back together. Humpty Dumpty back together again. Okay, now I can't really get a close look at it to make sure that none of those pins are touching down there, but I don't think they are. Okay, let's screw it back together. And we will get it connected to, oh dear, get it connected to a computer. I think I'm going to have to bring a different computer down. Uh-oh. Thing is turning. What an idiot. So, you all know that AC from DankRC is an idiot plane builder. Idiot plane builder. Can figure anything out. Kevin, thank you, but I wouldn't be so impressed. Wouldn't be so impressed. It's pretty embarrassing, actually, that I got those backwards. It's a good thing that isn't like something that would blow up the flight controller. But I do think it added to the erratic booting of it. I bet you that might have been part of the issue. Okay, so now we have to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Let's get this out a little here. I don't know what I'm doing there. Like that, maybe. And then we've got to get the wires out of the way. Okay, so that's the lights. Let's get that out of the way. This is the servo. That's the other servo. Okay, so you guys are going to go sort of like that. And then this goes in there like that. Ever so gently. Down in there. That's the ST1 pin. Smart audio goes there. Okay. So we have the ESC wires going that way. Then we have the buzzer, and the buzzer goes that way. the spar. Then this is the VTX. So we need our silver thing to mark the ground. Silver ground. And label this VTX. VX. There's not really room for a fat marker to write VTX with my fat writing. Okay. This one goes to VTX and the ground goes down. Okay, then next is the camera. Well, let's probably lost the camera in all this mess. Yes, I did. There it is. So now we got to get the camera down. See, I ran that wire before I glued in the flight controller. So now we have to get the camera down. Under there. You know what? I'm going to have to push it with one of these. And then grab it. Come on, little camera wire. There we go. We got it. Ha-ha! All right. Camera goes under that, like so. Should probably put the camera in first. The problem is the camera wire is exactly the right length, which is good for interference. Bad for trying to figure out how to get it plugged in. Okay. Camera. VTX. Ground wires are down. ST1 is the VTX smart audio wire. Now we have our ground wires for our X's on this side. Our X goes to TX2. So it goes on the bottom. The GPS. We're going to feed it underneath here, I think. So it stays out of the way. And the ground wire goes on this side. There we go. Okay. The lights are next to the camera. Signal up on the lights. Now we have the servos. Okay, so that's got to stay underneath the spar. The servo's got to go underneath the spar. Underneath the spar you go. You are servo. I'm going to have to look at that diagram again because I can't remember. Shit. This one, servo goes underneath, same place. Okay, so this is the right servo, so it goes on the inside. Let's look at our diagram again. Can't seem to remember the servos to save my life. All these other wires I have no problem remembering. I just can't remember the servo wires. So we have a Matek flight controller situation going on. Where is that screen? Desktop center. Here we go. All right. 3 and 4. 4 is right, 3 is left. Ground is in the middle. Ground is in the middle. So back to these glasses. No, not these glasses. These glasses. I only have like 3 pair of glasses out here. It's not as bad as it sounds. Okay, so this is the right servo, and the ground goes in the middle. And this is the left servo, and the ground goes in the middle. The good thing is, it's just like the ESC. If you get these reversed, you're only reversing the ground and the signal, not the power. Okay, so let's make sure everything is plugged in properly. And we'll put the spar back in. Let's get this scooched back, and scooched forward. So we have the grounds on the outside, correctum window. We have the ST1 pin. We have the VTX and the camera and the LEDs and the buzzer with the brown wire up. We have the eFlite 30 amp non-proprietary, probably ESC. It was my proprietary wiring, proprietarily wiring the signal pin to the ground wire. Okay, so here we go. I think everything is back in place, which means we're going to put the wings on. We're going to fire up we're going to put the spar through. The spar is going to go over those wires like that. Ooh, it goes right in, no problemo. We're going to leave the cover off of I'm assuming that I did actually reverse the wires on the ESC. My brain is thinking, did I make the same mistake twice? Just that thought just went through my head. Okay, plane. We won't need this ESC, let's hope. Change glasses and get some wings. Get the camera set up. This camera set up here. Where is that? Is that number 4? Yeah, that's number 4. Okay. Go there. There we go. Look at that. Wings. Okay. That part is very cool. Except for the fact that you can break these plastic tabs off. Okay. Now let's put that aside. And where did the little thing go that I was going to prop it up with? Here. Okay. Now let's go get a battery. Let's since I saw the hatch sitting here, make sure that the hatch goes on. Yep. No problem. All right. We have one full battery here. I'm just going to stick it in sideways. Oh, yeah, see, it's my batteries are, I don't know. I'm going to get one of those smaller 3 cells. I've got like 8 of those. Let's see how they fit. Got 2 different sizes of those. You got the Ovonic. This one has Velcro on it. And then I've got these ones that I ordered by mistake. I bet you these will fit in. These will fit in good. Oh yeah, look at that. Those fit in really good here, you can see. Oh, maybe you can't see. You can't see. So that fits in really good right up there. I don't know what that does to the CG, but then let's get then this plugs in no problem. That's okay. And then, yeah, that'll work. Okay, let's get the radio set up.
Welcome to OpenTX.
I gotta get it. I have to open the.
Thank you. Lights on.
Or figure out which battery it is and go get a battery from the store. Okay, we are loaded with our transmitter. Let's plug it in. Now that didn't make any different noise than it did before. I don't know if it's counting cells or not. Oh, and we still don't have control. So let's pull up the VTX. So that didn't fix that weird issue. God damn it. Where's that? Oh, let's turn on the VTX. Our shop VTX. I'm talking, our video receiver I'm talking about. Yep, it's stuck on the boot screen. As you can see, right there. So, this is a problem. This I've never seen before. I think it's a firmware issue, but who knows? Anytime I think it's something that's somebody else's fault, it ends up being my fault.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Boy, that isn't good either. Okay. What's wrong? What's wrong now?
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Well, the light's not working. That's one thing I can see. Servos. Up, down. Here, let's. Four. There. Up, down. Left, up, right, up. Okay, that's all good. Now we have to connect to it. And figure out let's put on my glasses and figure out why the light's not working. Did I plug the light in the wrong slot? Yes. Yes, I did. Okay, let's power this thing off. Let's take one of the wings off. I have to get the spar out.
Telemetry lost.
Sorry, Amber, let's turn you off. That comes out. The light goes in this one. Okay. Then we put the spar back in. Okay. Let's check all the other things. So we have 2 issues to correct, assuming that we get the ESC working. And that is, besides this weird booting issue, which I'm going to defer till the next firmware update. Okay, those go underneath. So LED, signal, camera, that's the camera 2 slot that it was plugged into. Nothing's wrong with that. Okay, let's put the wing back on. Wings. Wing 1. Wing 2. Okay, now we're going to connect battery. Turn on the receiver, transmitter.
Welcome to OpenTX. Switch warning. Manual mode. Why? Thank you. Lights
So
on.
with your radio, Kevin, if you're still listening out there in Radio Land, we'll be able to copy the model onto your new radio. We'll get your new radio set up with the firmware and everything, like I did to this radio. Okay, here we go. Oh, let's turn on the VTX over here. And then plug it in and see what happens. Please, please, please. Blinking lights, blinking lights, blinking lights. That's a good sign.
Loiter mode. Cruise mode. Acro.
Okay, so now GPS failure. Okay, so that means the next thing is we're going to undo this. Man, that is a serious connection. And then we are going to switch. No, it's not. Okay, then we're going to switch the GPS wires here. So this is the GPS, and we're going to switch these 2 wires on the end here. Oh, let's switch the screen. YouTuber. All those extra screws on the cutting board important. Are those extra screws on the cutting board important? Extra screws on the cutting board. I don't know where the I do have a cutting board out here somewhere, but it's usually way back. It's back there. If you're talking about the screws, like, I don't know, maybe I should put on glasses so I could see what you're looking at. Are these back here, these screws? No, anything over there is, your box of stuff is here and here, but there's not, I don't think there's any extra screws, I hope. Maybe not. Could be wrong about that. Okay. We have to switch the GPS receive and transmit wires. So the first thing I'm going to do is mark one of them so I make sure that I'm not, because I'm such a dork. So that one is the outside, so we don't want it to be on the outside when we're done. Dry the ink off because it'll probably just come off in my hand. So let's get the middle one out first. And what I'm going to be doing is, I guess I can't put the angle on anymore than that. Here, let's switch. Okay, so what we're going to do is get these two wires out. Make sure it's the GPS. Yes. Get that one out. And we're going to get... Oh, come on. That one is going to go in there. That one's going to go in there. Then the ground is on the outside. Yes. I'm going to put that back in. Okay. That is problem number 1 of 2 that hopefully we have solved. And we will guarantee that by going outside, verify that by going outside and getting GPS fix.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Okay.
Loiter mode.
Okay, and then we're going to put on the VTX again. Oh my god, I gotta switch glasses. Holy shit. If I had $1 for every time. Okay, we're going to plug it in again. See what happens. Uh-oh. Yay, a clean boot. The light's flashing. No, it's not. Wow. That is a situation that I've never come across this before. If it keeps happening, I guess I'm gonna have to get you a different flight controller. Once the different version of iNav comes out, after 3.01. Okay, what's that? GPS failure again. Shit. Why am I having all this trouble? Okay, there's a light on the GPS, so it's getting power. Alright, I'm going to get the kind of GPS that I like to use. I'm going to hook it up. This is what happens. This kind. Now I have another one somewhere that's got the wires that I won't even have to make a connector. Where is that? Okay, I have two new F411 WSEs. If this board is defective, I'll swap it out. I don't care. Where in the fuck is that other GPS? Here. These GPSs come with the right connectors. They're the GPSs I always use. We're going to connect this GPS up just to see if the goddamn thing works or not. Motherfuck. That gives me all the right kind of connectors. So this kind of connector has all the right things on it. I don't have to make a wire. It's a little too long though, but it's good for testing. Okay. We're going to unplug this goddamn GPS. We're going to switch these wires back because clearly that wasn't the problem. I did have it wired up the right way. I've got to figure this. This isn't not rocket science. This is not that hard. The only plane that I've had trouble with like this is that frickin' spear. That's actually been that was way more trouble than this plane to get going. Way more trouble. Okay. That goes there. Just look. Let's look at the frickin' diagram for the SAM GPS. Okay, where's the SAM GPS? Right here. The blue wire is the TX. The blue wire is the TX coming off of there. And the TX has got to go to the RX, and that is the one that is in the middle. And that is the one that I originally had it hooked up to. All my self-blame, and it's not that. That's not the problem. Okay, we'll apply it one more time. Then we're going to hook up my GPS. The right kind of GPS. It's not the right kind. It's just the kind that I always use. I probably always use it because they're tiny and they work and they're cheap. Cheap, tiny work. 3 things that I care about. Okay, so if this doesn't work, we're going to plug in this one and see if we get the same problem. Okay, GPS is plugged in. Radio's on. VTX, VTX, VTX view. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, and look, I've turned off my... I gotta fix something here on my screen. They are on a green mat, 2 of them under the plane. Green mat, 2 screws under the plane. I don't know. I don't see any screws. Green mat. There's no screws missing that I know of. Okay. Here we go. Radio's on. Plug the battery in. VTX is on. Right? Yes.
Telemetry recovered.
Okay. Now what? Did it say GPS failure? I didn't have the right glasses on. not stuck on GPS failure. Okay, so that seems to be, let's go take this outside and see if we get a GPS fix. So we're going to get our camera stuck on there. Where's my little screen? Little screen, little screen. Here you are. Okay, get this powered up, see if we got a signal here, and we'll go upstairs. We have control. We have a signal. We're going upstairs. Then I'll come back down and get the radio. Hi, baby. I'm still on the live stream. I'm taking Kevin's plane out to the backyard to see if we get a GPS fix. Then I still have one more issue to figure out. Or so I think. Okay. We're going to go to a shady spot here. And we're going to set you down in the middle of the yard. And poor camera. You're just going to be stuck pointing to the ground. And we're going to see if it gets a GPS fix. I'm gonna go get the controller. So we should be able to arm it. Wow, we still get a good picture down here. Not too bad considering we're in the basement. Okay. What are we doing? I'm getting the radio. And that's it. We're just going to wait. It's flashing 0, so that's not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. How's that battery down to 373 when it was full? Unable to arm, waiting. Oh, 5 satellites. Let's go back up. It's got 5 satellites. It's working. So we're in the yard here. And it's getting satellites. 7 satellites. It's not flashing unable to arm anymore. Oh, this is great news. So, the next thing. Let's just set it here. No motor still. No. We still don't have motor power. But it does go into launch mode. It does go into launch mode. But it won't, the motors doesn't work. Come on, go off that screen now. Stats 1 of 2.
14 minutes.
Stats 2 of 2. One of 2, 2 of 2. Okay, how do I get out of this mode? New iNav stuff. Oh, there we go. Unable to arm. Throttle is not low. So, still no throttle signal. So it still could be the ESC as proprietary. So we got all the electronics working now except the ESC. Raise the throttle. See, it gives you all the instructions right there. That's cool. That's new for iNav. My iNav doesn't do that. Okay, we're gonna unplug the battery. Now we gotta sort out the freaking motor situation.
Receiver is still connected.
Heading back in a second here. I gotta get everything in my hands because I don't have a radio strap for this radio. I don't want to drop it. Oh shit, I won't be able to get in the door without putting something down. House is like a fortress. Next gate. Many gates. Baby, there's nothing on.
Oh.
There's just, my mic is on. You can shut the door, my love. Okay, we're back down in the workshop. So I don't need this GPS. The GPS that you got, of course, is actually much higher quality than the cheap-ass ones that I use. I don't know why I thought it wasn't going to work. Don't know. I just don't know. Okay, number 4. Is that what I want? Yeah. So where are we now? Where are we after all of this mischief? Well, we have a couple outstanding issues. One is probably easy to solve. I've got to get the radio talking 12 channels. The second issue is the one that I don't know what the problem is. It's been the main issue that's hung me up. That hung me up for several hours the other day. And we'll put this GPS away. We have many things in stock here. GPSs, flight controllers, ready to go. I've got many builds to do. And what have I done? It takes me forever to do any build. That's why this takes so long. Okay, so where are we? Everything seems to be working except this fucking ESC. So we're in the same place as we are when we started this video. We are going to take the wings off. And there are some things I have to do this afternoon, so I may have to cut this short. But we are going to, one, double check our ESC wiring again. Double, triple check the ESC wiring. Then we're going to go into beta flight. First, let's do that first. Beta flight. What I mean is, let's do this. What I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. What I mean is we're going to go into the iNav configurator if we can get into it. If we can get into it. I wonder why we got that GPS failure message when it was wired up correctly. That threw me on a loop too. Things throw me on a loop sometimes. Okay, so let me review again. I'm doing this for myself here. GPS works, flight controller works, VTX works, lights work, servos work. So our issue currently, our main issue right now is the motor. So what we're going to do is we are going to desperately try to get this thing connected. Oh, it's plugged in. It's already plugged in. Didn't realize that. Okay, let's go to beta flight. Go to our desktop. Welcome to the desktop. Give it time. Give it time. See if it detects the serial port. See up here? It's got to say COM3. That doesn't guarantee it's going to work. But if it doesn't say COM3, on Windows that is, guarantees that it's not going to work. Oh, of course not. Oh, Lord, have mercy. This part is the part that's really blowing my mind. I need to get a different computer and just bring my laptop down here and see if it connects to that. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, yes. No, come on. You almost did it. Jesus. No. This part is just such a bummer. This part really depresses me. It almost makes me want to say fuck iNav. It really does. I am not I am not the patient person for this kind of bullshit. Okay, what can I do? I can go get a laptop. Fucking shit. It's bad enough that I can't wire things right. Hi, Fluffy McDuffie dog. Don't get up. You just stay there. I'm going back downstairs.
If she gets up, she's going to get a bath.
Oh, you better stay there. Mommy's ready to give you a bath. All right, we have our laptop. You won't be able to see what I'm doing on the live stream, but that's just the way it goes. So, gotta get into this. Okay. Now, do we have beta iNav on here? No, we don't. Of course not. It's a work computer. So I gotta go to iNav configurator, releases 3.01. Scroll down. iNav configurator 64-bit 3.01. And we also should get the immersion RC driver fixer just in case. Here we can go to there. Now you can see what I'm doing, sort of. Oh yeah, okay. So we're gonna download driver fixer just in case we need that. We might need Zadig. Jesus, you need all kinds of things to get this stuff going sometimes. Okay. Did we get it? Firefox, where are you? Downloads. iNav. So all we do is copy this to the desktop. You don't have to install the configurator. You just like copy it. Here. Sort of see what I'm doing. So we're going to go into here and then run this iNav configurator. Then we're going to grab this USB cable. And we're going to plug it in. It's never been plugged in before. So we may have to run the immersion RC driver fixer. COM4. It says it's COM4. Oh, who is doing the DFU driver too? Okay. That'll be good because what it's doing here is it's, oh, I need to switch scenes here. I'm going to make this big and scoot it over here. And then we can switch scenes. There, now you can sort of see what's going on. I'm on my laptop. What happened to my live stream? Oh shit. I hope I didn't kill it. Where's all the YouTube live streaming? YouTube. What's Chrome doing? Hold on. This is why it takes me forever to get anything done. It takes me forever to get anything done. Okay, we can exit out of here. Exit Chrome. DFU. Okay, so let's reboot this thing. Damn it. Restart. And then unplug that. Okay. What was I doing? We're restarting. Is it plugged in? I don't want it to be plugged in to the battery. Wow, I don't have any chat. The chat's gone. There it is. It's on. Okay, let's get logged into this machine. Oh, that's great. You guys can see my password. Let's do that again. I typed it wrong anyway. Okay, let's start iNav. Let's put it on the shortcut. Let's connect this thing. Oh. COM4. Look it just connected right like that. I knew it's my computer screwed up. Okay, so now we need to do the outputs. And we need to put it back to standard. Save and reboot. And it reboots no problem. Okay. So, drop my mic. This thing is a Rube Goldberg setup. Everything that we have is a Rube Goldberg setup. Is that anti-Semitic to say that? Rube Goldberg calling it that? I don't know. I should better look that up. Could be. I don't want to be that. Okay, so here we go. We're going to plug in, turn on the radio. Where is our radio? Throttle down.
Welcome to OpenTX. Switch warning.
Okay, so
Horizon mode. Why? Thank you.
we're going to plug this in. Let's go to, is it 8? Yeah. VTX. Oh dear. Now why is it doing that? Why is it beeping? And it's not working either. I don't understand this board. Oh, it didn't just boot. Oh man. It doesn't like me plugging in the battery when it's... What the fuck? Why? Why is this thing so goddamn temperamental? Shut up. Now it's stuck on this. Holy fucking shit. Oh my god. I cannot believe this. Oh my god, now it's really fucked up. Are you freaking kidding me? Dude, I clearly don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I resend all
Telemetry lost.
all fucking statements if I ever said I knew any fucking thing about what I'm doing.
Telemetry recovered.
This is now sufficiently surpassed. Oh shit, it's just totally not even gonna boot. Wow. This is totally surpassed now the fucking problems I had with the fucking spear. Ugh. That's insane.
Telemetry lost.
I mean, what did I do now? What did I do? I changed the ESC protocol. That's it. That's all I did.
Telemetry recovered.
And this computer does connect, no problem, to the... Oh. I don't know what I had. Now I'm just dismayed again. Son of a bitch. Son of a fucking bitch. Fucking shit. Oh, look at this ESC refresh rate. Okay, let's deal with that. Back to 50 hertz. Shit. Now what am I showing on the screen? Who in the fuck knows? Yeah, sorry, this is discouraging, and it's gotten me into a mode because I'm making mistakes. That's part of my problem, and I don't usually make this many freaking mistakes. Okay, now we got the ESC protocol set up right. Let's go back and double check. Back to standard, 50 hertz, not 400 hertz. Only if you know exactly. So, and why is the GPS red? The GPS isn't reliable either. Oh man. God fucking damn it. Motherfuck. Oh, maybe because it's not powered? That's why. That's okay. It really hasn't surpassed the hassle of this spear. I had so much major hassle with that, getting that going. Oh my god, this USB port also seems like it's... No, that's not. That wasn't the USB. It's the USB cable. And the USB cable. Alright. ESC. Here we go. We're going to put the frickin' wings back on. This time everything's going to be right. Put the spar in. Such a beautiful plane. Jesus. Such a nice looking plane. You better fly like you look after all this. Okay, spar going in. There really isn't. Everything looks clean. It's all clean. It's not even like a cluster fuck like some of my other planes. It's all nice. Okay, thanks, Amber. Okay. What are we gonna do now? Now, where are all my radio lanyards? Very discouraging. And it's all my fault. These are all mistakes I've made. Okay. We're going to take my screen. Where's that? Shit. Is it in my pocket? Yes, it's in my pocket. Screen's in my pocket. Okay, we're going up back upstairs. Back upstairs to see if I can relieve some of my discouragement. What's happening?
Making spaghetti for tonight. Here, I'll get it.
Thank you. Thank you, baby. All right, we're going back out to the yard. And we're going to set this down. Turn the radio on.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Set the radio down.
Warning. Horizon deploy. Thank you. Flight.
Plug the battery in. Oh, I forgot one thing. Let's turn the GTX screen on out here. Yeah.
Would you rather have tacos or spaghetti?
Probably tacos.
Yeah, I think so too.
She's changing gears, folks. Just like us, we're changing gears because I'm going to change to channel 8. Okay, so now you'll be able to see when we plug in, maybe. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Let's plug it in. Friggin' Opterra. Oh, it's gonna be stuck. Nope. Okay, what's the frickin' beeping about? What is that? Son of a bitch. What? What? That's what it is. The arm switch is on.
Loiter mode.
Okay. Now it says it can arm. That was quick. Here we go. This is the moment of truth. No frickin' motor. God fuck. Oh, motor. Hardly any motor. Yeah. Oh. Who knows? It's running, I suppose. Okay, we got motors going. Okay, that'll be interesting. This motor doesn't seem to have much power, but maybe it's just me. All right. Everything's functioning now. Miracle of miracles. And all the surfaces seem to be moving according to the way they should move for the mode, horizon mode. I don't know. Now we need a prop. I don't have one of those for this plane. Back it up, back it up, back it up, doggies. Ouch, back it up. Okay. Well, we're ready to test a flight. Ready to test the flight. Okay, so, oh no, we got to get those other, I got to get it to 12 channels. The last problem. The last problem. I sure don't know about that, how to do that motor strength. Seems pretty anemic, but maybe that's just that motor. And with the big prop on it, it seems amazing. Okay, so good news is I don't feel like celebrating because it's been such a long road, but everything freaking works finally. I don't know how reliably it's going to work, but it all works. Clapping of hands. Clapping of hands. Okay, this is the computer we'll have to bring to the field. It actually works. Actually works for connecting to flight controllers, unlike my computer, my main computer. So, hi. We are going to get in touch with Kevin and see if he has a prop. And I want to take it to the field and test it after we do one Google search, which we're going to do right now on the screen. Let's do that. Let's search for TBS Fire 12 channel manual. Let's change the channel. Binding issue. Change back to 00. Model number. Okay. Yeah, excuse me. Okay. I don't know how many. It doesn't say anything about channels here so far. Oh dear. Channel map. Channel map menu is like the output map. Transmitted number of channels can be set to 8 or 12 channels. Okay, where is this? Where are we? How do we set that? Receiver functions. All right, let's go into the radio and use the we still haven't been on here for 2 hours. That's pretty amazing. We've got almost things working. Okay. There we go. So we're going to hold the menu button down and go into Crossfire. Oh, we have to have it on and bound. Okay, so exit, exit. I got to plug in the plane. Now hold down the menu button. Now we're going to go into Crossfire. Then we're going to go into this and enter General. Eight channel. Here we go. 12 channel. Okay. Is that it? Let's go back into it. Twelve channel. Exit. 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 So now just for the fun of it, I'm going to unplug it and replug it back in, and then somehow we got to get back to the configurator.
Telemetry lost.
Okay. Turn off the radio and turn it back on. We'll reboot the radio too. Let's get back to our views here. Hold on, stand by too. Okay, well, I'm back from my standby mode. Oh, except I don't have a mic on. So, we've got to get it plugged back into the computer and test and see if we have 12 channels and all the modes working now. Then, where is the chat? He does have a prop. You have a prop. You have a prop. I don't have a prop. Oh, maybe that was Molly typing that. Hi, Molly, if that was you typing that. Okay, we are back to my computer. What are we doing? We got to check the 12 channel situation. The last freaking issue here for this plane. The plane that would never get ready. Okay, what am I doing? I am looking for the overhead document camera. Okay, there we go. We'll do that. I gotta log into my computer without the camera being on my fingers, close up. Then we can switch scenes, which is this. I'm gonna move the switcher over here so I can see it. Okay. Then we're going to plug the plane into the professor here and see if we're getting 12 channels. And we better move this stuff out of the way. Okay, computer. We will now, you can't really see what we're doing. Zoom that out a little bit. You can see what we're doing, sort of. Connect. It's going to work every single time with this computer. Every single time. Just goes right into iNav. No problemo. No problemo whatsoever. So now we're going to go,
Welcome to OpenTX.
turn on the receiver or transmitter.
Switch warning.
Mm-hmm.
Horizon mode. Why?
Go to the receiver tab. Now, oh, look at what we have here, folks. We have 12 channels. Yes. Something's actually working right. So, throttle, up and down, roll, pitch, yaw, doesn't matter. Channel 5.
Loiter mode. Horizon mode. Manual mode. Return to
Oh, look at
function.
that.
Lights off.
Channel
Lights
8,
on. Camera
channel 10.
Why? Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And we have RSSI on channel 17. Somewhere I'm supposed to tell it that. RSSI channel here. 17. Save and reboot. This Crossfire is definitely a higher level of gear than my R9, that's for damn sure. Okay. Now the GPS is showing red, but that's because the battery is off. So, Kevin, the plane is ready. It is 3:44 p.m. on Monday the 6th. I have to go do stuff, but the plane is ready, so I don't know if you want to wait till you get your radio and we do the transfer, or if I should do all the endpoints and stuff like now. The endpoints are, you can't see here, but there's on the screen, it shows you the exact level. So for like roll,
Trim center.
you get all the trims centered.
Trim center. Trim center. Trim center. Trim center.
Then you do the endpoints. I might as well do them for this radio. And you get to the, there's a screen. That's screen. Output, so channel 1 throttle goes from 995 to 2002, that's okay. Roll, that is channel 2, I guess, aileron. Okay, so we got to go down to aileron. let's move this. Oh, actually no. Okay, so we go down to aileron. We hit enter, and then we get over to set everything to 0 first and see what it does. It's going down, so we got to go up. I'm looking at the the iNav screen, waiting for the roll to go to 1500 exactly. Once it's at 1500, I'm good, which is 0.8 on the center trim. So now we want to do the low trim. So we go, and that goes down to 989. So we go down to this, and we have to hold this low. I'm going to zoom out a little. So what we're doing is we're looking over here to see, and right now when the pitch is low, or the roll is low, it's at 989. So what we want to do is change this number, the min number, till that says 1000. So we're going to go, oh, I went too far. So now it's at 1000. So now, and then it centers back to 1500. So now we're going to enter that, and we're going to go to the max trim, and then we're going to go to the max on the roll. That goes to 2005 on this. That red line there goes up to 2005. You don't need it. I know. I know that I don't need a dedicated channel for RSSI. You're right. The reason it's already picked it up in iNav, and I'm actually not using RSSI. I'm using link quality, but I don't know. It is giving RSSI on that channel, so I figured I would set the configurator. But you're right, it doesn't need it. This is true. So back to where I was. Okay, so we're going to go max trim. Max roll is going to 2005 milliseconds. So what we're going to do is we're going to enter this, and we're going to get our endpoint down to the point where it says 2000 over here. And it actually says the same thing on this. Well, it's actually a little off. So 2000, it jumps past. We'll leave it at 2001. Okay. And these gimbals suck, so they don't always go right back to where they're not like as good as Hall Effect gimbals. Okay, so that is the roll. So we hit exit, and then exit again, and then go down to channel 3. And channel 3 is, it's not labeled here, but is the pitch. So now we're going to do pitch center, and the pitch center here is 1500. Don't know why Andy has the radio now. Andy has the radio now. I don't know what that means. Andy has the radio now. Okay. So we're back to pitch. Pitch is centering at 1500, so we don't have to change the pitch on the sub trim here, the center trim. So now we're going to go down to the min, and the pitch min is 1000. That's good, and the pitch max is 1999. So we can go right to max. Go max, and let's enter that and increase that by just a little bit. There we go. Okay, now we're done. Now we're going to go, all we need to do is the yaw trim, which we don't need the yaw trim because we're not using yaw for a wing. So there. And besides, it's actually perfectly fine. So now the throttle is a little low, but that's okay. I'm going to let it go a little low. I'm going to keep that the same. And we don't need to worry about, so sub trims are done. Don't know, Andy has the radio now. Andy has a Radio Master, yes, if that's what you're asking. Andy has a Radio Master TX16S with the bling edition. Right on. Okay, so where are we? We are at the point where I can say that the plane is ready to try. The sub trims are set. Battery's not connected. That's good. We're good. We've got 12 channels. We've got our modes working. And we're going to say that unless somebody has something to say to keep this thing going, we're going to say that I actually think I've achieved iNav conversion on the Opterra. As amazingly hard as that is to believe, I think that's what's happened. So everything seems to be good. We've got Crossfire configured properly with 12 channels. We have GPS getting satellites. We have the beeper beeping. We have the light flashing. We have iNav booting. It seems to boot every time now, right? Maybe that was the ESC issue, me selecting the wrong protocol yesterday just to try to fix the miswired ESC. And then once I had the wires right, the protocol was still wrong. That could have affected the whole situation, and maybe everything's back to normal now. So that's what I'm going to say, is it's back to normal now until we know otherwise. And the radio is configured, so all we have to do when Kevin gets his radio is change it over to, we'll take the model, copy it off the SD card, and we'll copy it to your new radio. What we'll do actually is when we get your radio, we will update the firmware to the latest OpenTX 2.3 point whatever it is. Then we'll make sure we've got, like I did the exact same thing on this radio, we'll make sure we've got the Amber sound pack installed and the SD card content synced up with the version of the firmware that we've put in. We'll wipe out the existing sounds folder. We'll put in the Amber sound pack. Then we will make sure that the thing still is bound. And then we'll redo the center point, end point things that I just did, because that will be different on the new radio. That should be it. So firmware, then SD card, sound pack, center point, end points, and the model, like the first time you open the model, so we'll copy the model over from this radio. And then we will, the first time you open that model, it'll convert the model for use. And then we'll have to check the switches. So we will still probably have to plug it into iNav, a decent iNav computer like this one right here that actually works, and plug it into iNav. Make sure that all the modes are doing what they do before we try to fly the plane with the new radio, because you don't want the wrong mode to be selected for something. And then I'll give a quick overview of what the modes do. Not that you're going to remember, but if you ever watch this. So I love this Crossfire shit there. That is so cool. I guess it's not going to focus, but okay, so basically your modes are on these two switches here. And when you launch, I generally launch in loiter mode. So this switch, when this switch is in the up position, this switch is in control. But then if you, so this switch does loiter mode, horizon mode, and manual mode. So I rarely use horizon mode. I usually use acro mode. And the way acro mode is that it doesn't matter what this switch is in. You switch this switch for all the way down to acro mode. So when this switch is up, this switch is in control. Then this switch in the middle position overrides this switch and sets the plane to cruise mode. Cruise mode is it will go at the same altitude in the same direction. It just flies in a straight line, basically, without turning or climbing or descending. Then this switch down is acro mode. And acro mode is just the lack of all other modes. And that is like your stabilized rate mode. Basically, if you turn the plane this way, it tries to keep the plane in that orientation. If you pitch up, it's trying to keep the plane the plane pitched up. Okay, so there's your modes. So for launching, I put it in loiter mode. The switch is up, the switch is back. This switch switches the camera and also OSD at the same time. The problem is that you don't have two cameras yet, so you won't want to switch this really because you're going to lose your camera view in the middle position. Then in this position, I think it's back to the front camera, but with a different OSD. Then this switch here is your main arming switch. So this is disarmed, and then this is armed. And again, auto launch is permanently enabled, so you don't have to switch any switch for auto launch. So there's armed, and then if the oh dear switch is just pull it back, and that's return to launch. And then when you switch it back to just plain armed mode, you got to be careful not to push it all the way forward. So you push it to the center, and that's back to armed, and return to launch is off. Then there is only one other switch affecting things, and that is this switch here. And that switch puts it into the auxiliary mode, that whatever mode you set up. And at first, when you get a plane and you're first trying it out, you probably want to, and my planes are still like this because I'm lazy. It's the auto tune or auto trim. And in iNav 3, you don't need auto trim. So you just auto tune is on this switch. So when this is activated, auto tune. And by the way, this switch, return to launch, overrides any other mode that you have, no matter what. Turn to launch overrides. And that happens in the transmitter. All those mode things, the way that these switches interact and send a signal out, you program that in here, and that's already been done. And then on the computer down here in iNav configurator, when you're in the modes tab, is where you do all the, it's not called modes anymore, is it? What is it called? Programming? What is it called? Ports? No? Configuration? I can't find the modes. That's hilarious. Modes down here. Modes tab. There's a modes tab. And so you program all your channels, and it took a while for me to figure it out. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So that's the radio. It's not that hard, really. And we can move the switches around if you want to do different switches. But you just got to remember. Just got to remember the mode. Manual mode. Horizon mode. It's like progressively helping you. And then when you want to just like change your goggles or something or go to the bathroom, you put it in loiter mode. And whatever mode you're in when you launch is what mode it's in. So whatever switch position you're in when at the top of the launch climb, that's the mode that it's gonna take over. So if you're in loiter mode, it's the best mode because you can launch and you can go sit down. You know the plane's going to climb up and just circle around overhead until you're ready. So 2 hours, 14 minutes, 13 seconds into this, and we've got an explanation of the actual completed project. It only took like 14 hours, maybe. That's probably about 9 or 8 or 9 hours longer than I thought it would take. So I don't really have anything else to say. I think Kevin's going to get his plane back and we'll be together. I think I want to try to be at the helm maybe at first. And yeah, so it's ready. We'll make plans, Kevin. Let me know. We can do it during the week even sometime. Get you your plane back. When's your radio coming? Maybe you want me to set up your radio too. I don't know. You let me know. I am so sorry that we had so many troubles and that I have a terrible conglomeration of, oh man, I'm in the wrong screen. I am so sorry that I'm such a shitty YouTuber too. But now that I'm back on the right screen, I'm sure this will help many on YouTube. Oh, you are so kind, but I don't know. Yeah. So I delisted or unlisted the last 2 videos. And because of my raging on... Look! All my raging on the eFlite ESC is wrong. It seems wrong. Although, I don't know what the KV of that motor is, but that ESC doesn't seem like it's pumping out a lot of power. But we'll see. We'll have to see with a real prop on it. But it did seem to try to launch and fly in my simulation out in the backyard there. So, I didn't expect it to be so problematic, but I think we've overcome all the problems. And anybody, like you said, that would watch these live streams, what was I saying? I delisted them because I went on a rant, and many rants, and I felt like an idiot, and all the mistakes I made. What I'd like to do is edit them down to something a little bit more watchable, but you know what that'll take. So I guess I won't delist this one because we actually made it work, and I scratched my head only about 5,000 times, but that's okay. So I'm going to end the stream. It's done, converted, completed. I hope it flies. We'll tune it up. If you get a second camera, we can hook that up. You can decide. There's room enough in there. I was thinking you could put a pan tilt or just a pan camera. We could get one of those JX servos. I have a bunch of them, and make the modification, the Bonafide Pirate modification, and make it go around like 200 degrees. And you could easily have a pan camera for the secondary camera even. It doesn't even have to be the primary camera. You have the primary camera facing forward and the secondary camera like with a 200 degree facing backward and look any way you wanted, off to the side or back. Oh, that'd be cool. Can be done. Like I said, if I say it'll take 2 hours, that means 20. All right. I'm going to be over and out now. We're going to call this a success and be happy that we actually got it going finally. And thanks to Paweł Spikowski, the best iNav programmer ever. Thanks for watching.